What is it, guys? Coming at you with another video here. A lot to get into because sports is heating up, man. Week 16, a couple playoff games coming from the NFL, going into the playoffs, see what teams cold, what teams are hot. We're going to get down to that. We're also going to get down to the start of the NBA, a fresh start for some rookies and some stars that haven't played in a while. We're going to get into Lakers, Clippers, Brooklyn, and Warriors, and all the games that are going down. We're going to see some rookies, see how they do on the first game. But to get started off, I want to say a big shout out to Lionel Messi for passing the great Pele for most goals scored with 644 with one club. And this record is, they're saying that, according to reports, that they never seen it, we'll see it as getting broken because of how nowadays players move from one club to another. Like, it's nothing. That's what you see now. You don't see like one player stay at one club for a long time. But shout out to the great Messi. We could debate he's the greatest I've seen in my time, but we all know who's the best ever, and that's the late great Diego Maradona that barely passed away. May he rest in peace. So this is awesome, Messi getting that record and also getting the victory yesterday, 2-0 for Barca. So now we can get into some NBA action. The Lakers fell short to the Clippers last night, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And also the Celtics lost to the Bucks barely right now. And no, the Celtics actually beat the Bucks because Antetokounmpo, he missed a game time free throw at the end. So we'll just talk about later too. And also the Nets crushed the Warriors in what appeared to be the return of KD. I seen a little bit of explosiveness, not as much as before, but he was the same guy, man. I don't think he's rusty. He's coming back strong. So let's get into a little bit NBA now. So the first game I want to talk about, well, not the first, but the first game from today, Wednesday, which you guys will be seeing this video on Friday when I post it on YouTube, upload it. The first game on Wednesday was the Charlotte Hornets were taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I watched this game because I want to see how, of course, the number 3 overall pick, LaMelo Ball, how he plays. Which when I tuned in, I didn't really like the matchup because it was Hornets, Cleveland. You'd rather see some other games, but the fact that LaMelo Ball was playing, I was watching. So he did struggle. I believe he only had 3 points, and at the point of halftime, he had no assists, so I don't think he ended up with assists. But it's something new, especially to all the rookies, because they usually get more time to prepare with their team. But they're barely coming off one month after the draft, and they seemed kind of shaken up. They're nervous. They're coming into the league. They don't know what to expect. Especially without fans, it's probably even more weird, even a little bit more nervous because they got more eyes on them. But it's a long season, and I hope that fans don't get overreact or get worried or anything, because it's just one game, and one game doesn't change everything, But we'll see the next game, and in the future as the season progresses, we'll see how they do. The second game I want to talk about is Knicks and Pacers, which I didn't watch at all because who watches the Knicks now, man? Until that owner leaves, they will be good. But the Pacers ended up winning 121 to 107. Sabonis led the way with 32 points against the Knicks, so no surprise. And then a surprising game that I didn't see coming was the Heat lost to the Magic 107-113 and what appeared to be a really close game, But that's the battle of Florida right there. The Magic came out on top. The 76ers defeated the Wizards, which I didn't know this game was on, They defeated them 113-107, and we'll see Westbrook's debut. I don't know how it went. I didn't see how he linked up with Beal, so, but the 76ers came out victorious. This is the game I thought was over, but when I tuned into the last 3 minutes to see if someone was changed, I thought it was over though. The Bucks and Celtics. The Celtics won on a late shot by Jason Tatum, which I think it was luck because Giannis defended him well, but he just hit a shot and banked it in, But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, you know how they say. But then on the other end, there's um, zero point 0.4 seconds left on the game clock, and Antetokounmpo, they threw it up to him, and he was fouled by Thompson, which I thought it wasn't a foul. Honestly, the NBA soft now, as you guys know. But he had a chance to send it to overtime with 2 free throws. He sinked in the first one, but he missed the second one, which I seen coming because he's not a bad free throw shooter, but he's not a good one. But I didn't see him making those two, and he ended up not. And another game, I didn't get to see because there's too much games. There's like 12 games going on. The Pelicans beat the Toronto Raptors 113-99. Zion, it says he had double-double, so it was a great game for him. I expect a lot from him. Hopefully he plays around 60 to 65 games this year. I think it's 72 games this year, so that'll be good to see. The Hawks defeated the Bulls, and I know Trey Young went off on this game. So, big win from the Hawks to start off the season. The Spurs defeated the Grizzlies 113-119. And then the other game I was keeping an eye on was the number 1 overall draft pick, Anthony Edwards. He did all right. He did better than most expected. I think he ended up with 13 points against the Pistons. They ended up losing, which they led the whole game until the fourth, and the Timberwolves came back 111. 101, and a big shout out to the cat, Karl Anthony Towns, for playing this game. I know it's been hard for him these last couple months because he said he lost 7 family members to COVID, and one of them was his mother, so I bet that was hard. And he said in his post-game interview that the game ball was for her, that he's going to send it to his dad and put it right next to her. And then the game that got postponed tonight that I was going to tune into as well was the Thunder and Rockets. I guess Boogie and John Wall were at the apartment of the player, and they're getting haircuts with Kenyon Martin Jr., and he tested positive for COVID, so they all had tracing, so they couldn't play. And then a video came out of James Harden. What he said was him going to a girl member's his friends to celebrate her promotion, becoming a boss, and he had told the NBA about it, that he followed all protocols and everything. He wore a mask, but eventually the NBA came down that it wasn't in regulation with the protocol, so they had to postpone the game. That's the big one I wanted to see as well. And right now the game's going on. The Nuggets are playing, and then the Suns are playing as well. Those games are at halftime, as I'm filming this on Wednesday night. So we'll see how the Suns do. I know they acquired CP3, and Devin Booker is a hot scorer, but I think the person that can contribute most by getting CP3 on their team is DeAndre Ayton, because he has potential to be a star in this league, but I feel like he just needs that point guard. The pick and rolls can be good for CP3 and him, and we'll see how they do, man. I expect them to go to the playoffs. But now let's get into my Lakers. They didn't let me down last night. I kind of see this coming because they had I think a 72-day layoff, which is quick for a NBA season to restart. But LeBron didn't play heavy minutes. He played less than 30 at 28. Anthony Davis as well. He didn't shoot the ball well as he should. He should have taken more shots. But we started off slow in the first quarter, turning the ball over, too much times. And that hurt us in the long run because that just gave the Clippers a bunch of easy buckets. Paul George ended up with 33 points to lead the Clippers to a W over the Lakers. But even though that's good to see by PG, I want that in the playoffs because he needs to bring in when the money is on the line and the team needs him because I know they want that chip. They seen those nice rings by the Lakers. Maybe that's why they lost because those rings were too heavy on their finger. They were missing a bunch of shots. But some people are overreacting, saying, "Oh, the Clippers are back," or the Lakers they're not loaded as they were last year. I know they'll have rim protectors at last year, but let them get in shape and get rolling, and you'll see. Because LeBron could have played easy 35, 36 minutes yesterday and came back and won, but he checked out with, I believe, 7 to 8 minutes to go in the fourth. So you rarely see that happen with LeBron, but he did tweak his ankle, but he said nothing big. He'll go home and drink his wine as usual, but we'll see how it goes. And then on the other game, the Warriors and Nets, the Nets spanked the Warriors. I had to tune out because I didn't want to see Steph Curry get beaten like that by his former teammate, Kevin Durant, which he looked like KD, man. Maybe not the explosiveness, like I said, but he looked like KD, hitting shots, moving left to right, using that long 7-1 height advantage on multiple defenders. And as well as Kyrie Irving, he had the handles. He looked like his old self. So hopefully he could stay healthy and they both could play the most games they could for the Nets this year. And I believe they'll come out of the East if they're healthy and all their bench and their coach is in sync with them. They'll come out of the East. And to Steph Curry, I believe he ended up with 20 points. It was not a good night for the Warriors. James Wiseman also made his debut. He looked good. He looked like he could get easy baskets, and I seen a couple pick and rolls where he got easy baskets off of. But the Warriors just looked like a new team, coming together. So it'll probably take him some time. There's big criticism on Curry. Can he lead a team that don't have the second star, to the playoffs? I believe he could, but the Western Conference is loaded, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see who ends up the champion. I'm still picking my Lakers, but it's gonna be way harder than last year, to let you know, because our conference, the Western Conference, is loaded as always. But we'll see. We're still the favorite. So next thing I want to get into is NFL going down actually on Christmas Day it starts. So we have action-packed weekend of sports, and let's get into it. The NFL going into week 16, 2 more games into the playoffs, so we'll see who ends up getting these playoff spots in the last moments. And the AFC side is between, I believe, the Dolphins and Ravens, and my Las Vegas Raiders, because in the previous video I said Oakland, because to me they'll always be Oakland Raiders. They still have a slim chance to get in, but I don't believe they're going to get in. If they get in, it's just the football gods talking, saying we need the Raiders in the playoffs, but I don't think it will happen because they need the Ravens to lose out and the Dolphins to lose out, which the Raiders played the Dolphins on Saturday, but with our defense the way it is and the way we're trending right now, it don't look too good. But let's get into it. Week 16 starting off Friday, Christmas Day, with the Vikings taking on the Saints. I got the Saints winning. Drew Brees still shouldn't play until next week, one half, because last week he looked like his shoulder was messed up. So I'll sit him out this week until next week. Get him one half, get him ready for the playoffs, because you're not gonna get that first round bye anymore. So sit him down, rest him this week, because last week he looked hurt throwing every throw. He didn't look like himself. So rest him, play him one half next week, and you're still gonna win your division. And you're just fighting for the seeding now, but you're not fighting for the first seed. So I got the Saints winning that one. Saturday, we got 3 games going on. The first one at 10 a.m. Pacific time. The Bucks taking on Lions. I got the Bucks winning this one, and the Bucks still look dangerous. And anytime you have Tom Brady on your team, you're going to be a Super Bowl contender. I think they're coming together at the right time. But is that true? Is that actually true? We'll see. But going into playoffs, I could see them as Super Bowl contenders. The only thing getting in the way is their coach, Bruce Arians, which he could get his ego in the way sometimes by not letting Tom Brady run his style of offense that benefits him and the team the most, because he wants this down the field stuff that sometimes Brady's arm, it probably gets tired. He's getting older in age. That doesn't work, turns the ball over. That doesn't help. So Bruce Arians let Tom Brady run the offense, please, man. Because if you want a Super Bowl, you got to sit back and let him run the show. The second game is between the 49ers and Cardinals. And C.J. Beathard is getting the start because, according to reports, Mullen, I guess he messed up his shoulder on the second to last play in that Cowboys game last week. He will need Tommy John surgery, I believe. So this is an interesting pickup for the Niners. They got Josh Rosen off the Bucs practice squad. So I'm glad to see that because the former first-round pick, he never got a fair shot at Arizona. So we'll see how it goes. And who knows, maybe C.J. Beathard won't play good, or maybe, hopefully he doesn't get hurt because I don't like guys getting hurt. But who knows, maybe Rosen could get in there if he's active, maybe take a couple shots at his old team. And I see the Cardinals winning this game, but I would not be surprised if the 49ers win because they play hard football even with all the injuries that happen and everything. And the final game of Saturday night is my Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Dolphins. And the big question coming into this week is, will Derek Carr play? And to me, he should not play because he's the future of the next 2 years for the I was gonna say Oakland Raiders again, Las Vegas Raiders. For people that are saying they should cut him this time, and they should not let him back next year. To me, this year it was Derek Carr's year to prove it was the playoffs, but he played the season well enough to get us into the playoffs. This year is on the defense and the coaching staff for not having us prepared against the teams that we should have won against, and just not having us prepared, man. And Derek Carr needs to stay because he's our future for the next 2 years. He's only making, I believe, 19 point something million next year, and then the last year of his contract, 21 million, I believe. So that's a great deal for that kind of quarterback because to me he's a top 12, top 13 quarterback, and he could be top 10 quarterback at times if he's playing well and healthy, but we need him healthy because that groin injury is no joke, and it's not like a tweaked ankle or anything. It's a groin, similar to a hamstring. Those don't heal quickly. So you rest them, leave Mariota in there because we're not going to make the playoffs. And who knows, Mariota, we could see if we get trade value for him, third, fourth round pick. And going up against Tua and those Dolphins, that great defense and the offense. We'll see if Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki play, But I want to see the Hawaiian Bowl right here, the two quarterbacks from Hawaii, the Flying Hawaiians. We should let them play and see what goes on. And shout out to Marcus Mariota for coming in and doing great and always being ready to play because he got cut by the Titans, but we brought him in for, I believe, $17 million. He's making $10 million next year, so hopefully he gets a landing spot if we let him go. But it's Mariota time. Let Carr sit, rest, and get ready for next year. So going into Sunday, the Chiefs now are 14-1. The only loss coming to the Las Vegas Raiders. They take on the Falcons. I got the Chiefs winning this one easy. A bunch of people out there believe that they're just messing around with teams at this point. They score early, they get bored, they let teams back in the game in the fourth just to give them hope, I guess, and just mess around with them. And then there they go, driving, scoring, and ending the game. I see Patrick Mahomes as the front runner for MVP because actually I like Aaron Rodgers, but Mahomes is the face of the NFL, so I see them giving it to him once again, and we just have to see who wins it. The next game is Steelers and Colts, 10 a.m. Pacific time. The Colts defense is playing good. They have a great defense. Their offense is coming together with T.Y. Hill in. The running backs, Rivers throwing down the ball downfield good. and we'll see what happens then. And then big question on Big Ben's side. Can he throw the ball downfield? Is his arm shot from last year's surgery? We'll just have to wait and see. I don't see him as true contenders because they can't run the ball right now, even with James Conner. So maybe the Le'Veon Bell situation affected him, as well as the Antonio Brown situation, because who's their number one receiver now? We don't know, and we got too much dancing going on with Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm all about having fun and everything, but I think he takes it too far when they're dancing on the logos. When he's dancing on logos, recording on TikTok, man, that's just the ultimate disrespect in football. Just being on the other team's logo and doing something is very disrespectful. So the Bears and Jaguars also play at 10 a.m. I got the Bears winning easily, easily over the Jaguars. Jaguars trying to claim that number one overall pick to acquire Trevor Lawrence, so they're going to lose. The next game, Giants at Ravens. I believe the Ravens will win, but I'm hoping that the Giants win to keep my Las Vegas Raiders playoff hopes alive, but I don't think they'll end up losing. The Ravens got this. They'll win. They'll move to 10 wins. And big news is that will Colt McCoy play? Will he start? And will Daniel Jones play? I hope he does, because it'll give us a better chance to maybe sneak in the playoffs, even though I don't think it's going to happen. But for the Giants to win this game, they need to stop the run, which they are good at, and force Lamar Jackson to beat him with his arm down the field. And then Bengals end up the 10 a.m. slot with the Texans. Got the Texans winning this one. And the games at 1 o'clock, they're going to be great games. The first one is Panthers at Washington. What can I say about Haskins, man? I was just talking good about this guy, hoping he got another shot. And what does he do? He invites strippers to his house, man. And he loses his captaincy. But Ron Rivera said he's still expected to start. We'll see. I believe if Alex Smith is ready to go and he gets the nod, they'll win. But if Dwayne Haskins in there, it opens up the gates for the next game between the Eagles and Cowboys. I'm going to get my compadre Junior back in this one. I got the Eagles and Jalen Hurts going back to Texas and taking this W over the Cowboys. I'm going to bet 40 this time on this game. So any Eagles fans out there, shout out. Let's get this win for the Eagles and for Jalen Hurts and bringing my money back, man. So if you're watching this, Junior, got 40 on there. So the battle of the NFC West also ends the 1 o'clock slate of games. The Rams versus the Seahawks. I got the Rams winning this one. I know a bunch of fans are like, why we pick the Rams? They just lost to the 0-13 Jets or 0-14 Jets. I'm just saying, man, it's something about matchups, and they own the Seahawks. They own them. Russell Wilson, that's probably his least favorite team to play. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and the boys are gonna be ready to rock and roll on defense, especially with the loss coming from last week and what the Jets did to them against their defense. I got the Rams winning this one, and overall they'll take the NFC West, and they're really Super Bowl contenders. The only thing that for them that's holding them back will be Jared Goff, I believe, because sometimes he could be a turnover problem and try to force too many things when they're not there. And that was a big issue last week in the Jets game. And I really need their defense to step up. I got the Rams this week, and overall taking the West. The night game will capped off is Titans at Packers. Titans win by but be more physical than the Green Bay Packers. They're going to pound the ball with Derrick Henry. I see Tannehill taking some shots, and I see the Packers having no answer for Derrick Henry and their run game. So I got the Titans in that one, but the Packers still going to take that one seed in the NFC. But it just depends on matchups in the playoffs, who they play, and how they play. But anybody traveling into Green Bay is going to have a hard time because the weather is cold right now. And last but not least, the Monday night game is between the Patriots and Bills. this could be an up game, but I got the Bills because the way the Patriots are trending down right now. Their offense can't get nothing going, but their defense is okay. I just see the Bills winning because they're hot right now. Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen. The coach is on the same page, and the defense is playing better. But who knows? Maybe Belichick has something up his sleeve and got something for the Bills, and we'll just see, man. By the end of this week, I hope to see that the Raiders are still in the playoff hunt, and they win on Saturday. The biggest thing is I want to get a W. I know it doesn't matter. We could get a better position with draft picks and everything, but the way it's looking, we haven't drafted as well as we may think, and I don't know. John Gruden is on the hot seat, man, for next year. Not this year, but next year, because Jack Del Rio got fired. That's one thing I didn't like when they brought Gruden in. Is why didn't you just take him as your defensive coordinator? Probably he didn't want that anyway. But John Gruden, if he doesn't get in the playoffs next year, I want him out. Even though we still signed him 10 years, $100 million. There has to be something in the contract that says that if he's not producing, he should get fired. But he even said in the interview before getting hired, no, it was in the press conference while after he was getting hired, that if he's not producing for the Las Vegas Raiders, he will fire himself. I don't know how much I'll believe that, because that's a lot of money just to tie yourself. If you do bad, you're just gonna walk without taking the remaining 70 million. But we'll just wait to see. Don't miss out on this week's action, and I'll be back with you guys on Tuesday with another video. So please like, subscribe, comment, and if you guys want to talk anything about sports, DMs are always open. The tags are in the description below. At Michael Canelo on Instagram, at Michael Canelo1 on Twitter. You guys know where to find me. You know, if you guys want me to make a video about anything about sports and everything, hop on there and let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And happy holidays for me to your family, and stay safe out there. Thank you.